The TinHifi Dudu. Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, there's something primal in me knowing that I'm reviewing I am named Dudu right now. So excuse the childishness, but it's a pretty silly name. Let's talk about this I am. It's a plater I am. It's $80 and it's pretty good. So let's get into the build quality. The shell and comfort of this is a lot like the Aria. It's kind of flat. It just kind of sits in ear. It has a nice little, it's nice and metallic. It's small. It's light. It's not a bad shell by any means. Flat 2-pin cable connector. Nozzle is small. It's comfort of this IM is good. It has a nice lip. It has no wing. The faceplate is something I do want to talk about. It's hard to get in the right light, but when you do, it kind of has this chromatic flare to it. Super cool. I really like this faceplate, despite it looking at it a little bland at first glance. The cable is kind of bland. It's kind of coppery, bronzy. It's pliable, but it's very thin. It doesn't have that kind of juicy feel to it. It's not terrible. It has a chin slider that stays in place really well, you can see. It has a nice Y split. It's not super exciting, but it's a solid cable and it's really pretty. So, hey, I'll give it that. All right, let's look at this IM. I've had a lot of planars across my desk in the last few days. The S08, the Heidi's MP143, and all kinds of stuff. So we had some good stuff. So, as we kind of get into this, let's talk about it and look at this graph. There's a little bit of a channel imbalance that might be on my end, but the big things to note, bass is a little bit under where I want target-wise, very slightly scooped mids, and a little bit of energy up top. So it's an interesting IEM. It's a little bit exaggerated overall, but it has nice, pretty even treble. It's an overall nice IEM, and it's good sounding, but it's not perfect in my opinion, and it has a few faults, but it does objectively sound really good. It's enjoyable. Podcasts sound good on this IEM. Almost all music sounds really good. It's almost a great all-arounder, and in some ways I think it's really good. In some ways I think it could be better. My biggest fault right here is this 3K peak. I think if that were tuned down a little bit, it would be a ton better. But overall, engaging, fun, IM, very enjoyable. It is not doo-doo. I'm sorry, but it's not. It's a good IM, and in some ways I think it kind of deserved a better name. Maybe there's a reason for the doo-doo. Let me know in the comments below. To me, it's just a funny name, but it's neither here nor there. All right, we look at some other IMs. The S08, I think the S08's a lot more flat and neutral. If you can get these at the same price, I probably would go the Let's Sure S08. It's a little bit more neutral, a little bit less energy, but it's very, very close. I think, I don't know. It's hard to say. I might even say the Dudu if you want something a little bit more engaging and fun, like the Dudu's there. If you want something a little bit more bright, neutral, a little bit more lean, a little bit more correct, maybe go with the S08. If you're at all sensitive to shout, I would probably say the S08. I think the S08's more forget it, hit it, quit it, forget it, throw it in, go game for a few hours or do stuff for hours on end and not even pay attention to it. If you want something that maybe engaging for a night of listen, something that's kind of fun, that kind of energize you, I think the Dudu's a little bit more fun, a little bit more energizing, and that's probably the better way to go. But they're kind of different. You look at the Heidi's MP143, you'll notice a lot of the same characteristics, I mean, you're basically trading a lot of energy around 3K for extra energy around for 4 to 5K. I mean, it's kind of like, which one's better? I mean, for me personally, I don't really mind shouty IEMs unless it's like in this region, like the early shout range. Ugh, not really a fan, but they're right around 1 to 2K. I kind of dig, or right around here, aren't too bad. Like if it's 1 or 2 decimals, it's kind of fun. It's engaging. It's kind of spicy, and it's not bad. Sometimes it's actually kind of a fun, unique listen. But it's not necessarily what I call correct and for everybody. There's a ton of people that will call these IEMs shouty and just rear away from them. And that's kind of something to note for people who are not familiar with that term. So a lot of people will call the Dudu shouty because of this peak. But yeah, that again, the height is MP143 also has different nozzles and different tuning switches you can do with it. It has a lot of versatility. I don't know. It's hard to say which one's better, but they're definitely different, and they're both pretty good. The next one to look at is the NISAC F1 Pro. This is kind of like the same graph as the S12. You'll notice it takes this energy from the back and just kind of throws it up to around 1K. Some people are gonna like that. If you're like me and you're sensitive to that 5-6K energy and you hate it, the Dudu is going to sound a lot better. I like the vocals sound more engaging. I can wear it for longer. It's a nice set for me. And it's something that I personally find myself enjoying, but every once in a while I do see how some people might call it shouty, and it doesn't sound correct. It sounds fun, and that's kind of the concern I have with it. Other ones to look at. Something about the same price, same shell, probably better case and cable. The Moondrop Aria 2, nice dynamic driver, pretty smooth, pretty even kiltered. Neither of these are super bassy, but they're fun, chill, good sets. And, the Moondrop Aria 2 might be something you might want to go for, but I don't think it has as many pristine detail and like that technical prowess that a lot of people call it in the Aria 2. The TinHifi Dudu is probably going to have a better sense of space and air. Now, I'm going to try to start talking about EQ a little bit more, but I do feel that the TinHifi Dudu will benefit from EQ. The EQ will get rid of that scooped mids. It'll add a little bit of lift to the bass. It's going to kilter down some of these areas that kind of be bothering, and it'll sound nice, clean, and clear. It'll sound like glass with this EQ profile. So I would recommend, adapting your EQ profile from Squidlink, and then taking that into something like your Codelix 5K or Peace APO. There's other programs you can EQ with, but I'd highly suggest doing it something that's a little bit easier, because manually doing it can be a royal pain. All right, let's rank this thing up. I mean, the TinHifi Dudu, it's a solid B. It's one of those IEMs that I could see, recommending to people. Here, we're actually going to give it a star as we talk about it. I do think it's worth this price. I mean, you might be able to find it on sale even for cheaper than this 80. I can't really speak for the packaging because I don't have it with me. But overall, sonically, it's a solid set. It's an easy win. It's one of those sets that I can easily recommend to you. I mean, if you want to go cheap, something like the Trio might be good. There might be other IEMs that could be better for you. But the TinHifi Dudu, nice graph, even kiltered, good sounding. I mean, it is also possible my graph and my interpretation might be a little bit off due to a channel mismatch or imbalance. But overall, I have to say that I really enjoy my time with the TinHifi Dudu, and I think it's extremely solid. I think it'd be a great pick for a beginner, and it has a fun, impressive sound, and it is not too over the top for me. And it gets a full recommendation at its price, and it's a good sounding IEM. So the TinHifi Dudu, nothing stinky at all. Solid set. I think it's one of the better planars. I think if they could maybe curb down that 3K peak a little bit, I think it'd be a little bit better. Maybe add the bass shelf a little bit more. There are a few minor tunings that I would adjust that I think could make this a great IEM. But it's almost like it's tuning, and what it does goes after something that's not safe, that's a little bit aggressive and fun. And I kind of dig that. It's almost exactly what I would want out of an IEM with just a few things here. Although you could say that about a lot of IEMs, I appreciate some elements and aspects of this IEM for what it does and where it goes. If you guys have any questions about this IEM, oh yeah, this was sent out to me by another YouTube reviewer, and I want to thank them for this opportunity to review this IEM. If you guys have any questions or concerns about this IEM, please let me know in the comments below, and I hope you guys have a great day. You're still here. It's over. Go home. Go watch another IEM video. It's done. That's the entire video. What more do you want?